Hi friends, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly and today I am talking about my Epistolary January TBR and giving some recommendations for each of the prompts. So Epistolary January is hosted by Anne from In Search of Wonder, and joining her as co-hosts are Jane Reads, Jen's Reading Life, Candlewick Library, and myself. So I'm going to go through the prompts and tell you what I'm going to be reading for them and giving you some other information about Epistolary January as we go along. So for the first one, we are doing love letters, and so this is, of course, any novel, or I guess it could be real life letters that two people wrote that is romantic. So we are doing a group read that actually fits this prompt this year, and that's Wired Love by Ella Cheever Thayer, and it's about two telegraph operators who are falling in love as they telegraph back and forth to each other. I'm really excited to read it. I've never read it before. But a recommendation I have for this prompt is Pepper Basham's book, Authentically Izzy. And this is just a really cute contemporary romance where a girl who is very bookish ends up falling in love over messages to a man in Scotland who is also a very bookish. And it is just very cute, and I really enjoyed it. So that is a recommendation for you for love letters. Next, correspondence. Well, Jen's Reading Life is hosting on New Year's Day on her channel, and I'll leave the information for that in the description box, a read-along of 84 Charing Cross Road. Now, this is real life letters that were written back and forth between a woman in the States and a woman in England. It's kind of exploring post-World War II life, and you're getting the information about both of them, and the lady in America is writing to this person at a bookstore and trying to get some like rare classics and that type of thing. So I haven't read it before and I'm looking forward to. But a recommendation for correspondence would be Daddy Lobg Legs by Jean Webster, and this is a book about an orphan who has someone who decides to sponsor her and let her have higher education. She doesn't know who he is. His requirement is that she writes to him, and the only glimpse she's gotten of him is him like walking out of the orphanage, and she saw that he was a very long legs, so she names him Daddy Lobg Legs. This is a very endearing, interesting book. It has a twist at the end that some people love, some people have a problem with. I personally liked it. It made sense with the time period that was being written from. So, Caramel, that's the next prompt. That is set in a foreign country. Anything set in a foreign country. Now, what I'm going to be reading this year is Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. Wilkie Collins was known to have kind of set up what we use now for like the formula of our detective novels. And I have a recommendation from him that's also airmail because it takes place in England, and a little bit of traveling happens in it, and that is The Woman in White. And I read that last year with Bethany Brings Books. I might try to see if I can get her to read The Moonstone with me, although she is very busy. So I really have loved my experience with Wilkie Collins from The Woman in White, so I'm hoping I really enjoy The Moonstone. Another recommendation for airmail is The Last Christmas in Paris. Now, I kind of keep Christmas tide and keep celebrating Christmas through early January, so I read this last year, and it is World War I correspondence. It actually could be counted towards love letters as well because there's a romance that develops during the story. I really recommend that one highly, and that's by Hazel Gaynor. Now we've got journal entries, and so for that one, I don't know much about this at all, except that everyone that I know that has read these loves them. So I'm going to do the Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyons, Volume 1. And these are by Beth Brower. That can also go towards our bonus prompt, which is sequel, because there's several in the series. So that works. And other recommendations that I can give you for journal entry. One would be The Diary of Anne Frank. And so that is just, everyone needs to read that at some point in your life. Of course, you have a Jewish girl who is hiding during the horrible Holocaust happening during World War II and Hitler's terror. And then another one that I kind of think would be good is like, and this is not pure epistolary because there's only little journal entries and then you go into normal stories, but at the beginning of each chapter, usually there's a journal entry. For most of Richard Paul Evans' Christmas stories, if you carry it over a little bit into January, your Christmas reading, there are journal entries at the beginning of most of his Christmas stories. One that I would recommend would be The Noel Stranger. So those are some recommendations. And now for me, for the book in a series, I am going to read The Christmas Appeal. And this is the sequel to The Appeal, which I read last year. And I do recommend The Appeal. There is a little bit of language, but it's not excessive. And in The Appeal, we're in England, so that could go to airmail too. And you have, for me, since I'm in America, you have the cast of characters are actually some of them the cast in a play. And we have a little girl who's a relative of the founders of the theater who is undergoing chemotherapy. So they're doing an appeal to raise money for this specialized treatment that is being sent to England from the United States. And some weird things happen and you're not sure who to trust. So I'm not really sure how the Christmas Appeal is going to continue on, but it is a series since it is going into another book with some of the same people. And this is by Janet Hallett. Anyway, that is what I'm reading for Epistolary January and some recommendations I have for you. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. Those of you that celebrate. To my Jewish viewers, I hope you're enjoying Hanukkah right now. And I hope that you read a lot in the new year. And join us for Epistolary January. I'll leave the information in my description box. Bye-bye.